selling your house, you first need to see an incredible website called HomeGain.com. HomeGain.com will help you find a realtor to buy or sell a home. It's so easy, and best of all, it's free. At HomeGain.com, you can compare realtors anonymously, receive customized proposals, see consumer reviews, then select the best realtor for you. Go to HomeGain.com and get an instant home value estimate, view comparable homes, and check out street views. HomeGain.com has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and contains a wealth of information, like their home improvement tool that helps you determine which home improvements to make to increase your home's value. See the top 12 home improvements right now at HomeGain.com. That's HomeGain.com. Look for Max, the Orange HomeGain Gorilla, to help you find a realtor or with any other real estate needs you might have at HomeGain.com, your real estate connection.
This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Ecola Blue atmospheric water generator that produces pure drinking water right from the humidity in the air. No, this isn't science fiction. It's very real. I know because I use one every day in my own home, and it's available right now to you. Because you know exactly where your water comes from with Ecola Blue, you'll know what's in your cup. Clean, great-tasting water without all the pollutants. Get your family off the grid today by ordering your own Ecola Blue atmospheric water generator for your home or business. Their best seller, the Ecola Blue 28, produces up to 7 gallons of water every day. The Ecola Blue 28 is easy to use and economical. Generate your own pure water from the humidity in the air. This system is free of chemicals and uses a multi-stage filtration system, including reverse osmosis, carbon filters, and ultraviolet lights. Order now and claim your water independence today by calling Ecola Blue at 1-800-691-6043. That's 1-800-691-6043. Or visit Ecola Blue on the web at www.ecoloblu.com today. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We have the best-selling author of Obamaland, I've Seen the Future and It Doesn't Work, journalist Mr. Dillingpole with us. His website is jamesdillingpole.com, and he's with us for the rest of the hour. Now, if you just joined us, we're going to chronicle the aftermath of ClimateGate. And it's kind of like a battle at sea where you torpedo a big ship and it starts exploding and burning, but then the magazine where all of its explosives and artillery shells are stored ignites, and the whole ship just blows up. Now, they're still in our local towns and cities. They've invested hundreds of billions. They're not going to stop, but their capital ship, their main flagship, has completely exploded. They are now known as frauds, but they don't care. They're going to continue on. So we're going through the UN climate chief, who is admitting, all these errors in their reports, but it's coming out that they, quote, did want to make it look worse so that we would accept them saving us. And, of course, he makes money off shutting down ancient, and when I say ancient, some of the oldest and best steel mills, forges in England, and the government pays him to then set one up in India. So this is also a hijacking of industry. We're covering that scandal first. Then we're going to get into all the other scandals with Mr. Dillingpole. Please continue, sir.
Yeah, we've got Dr. Pachauri, who is the bearded troll impersonator we talked about earlier. And this guy is in charge of the UN body responsible for telling the world that the world is getting dangerously hotter. It's all man's fault. We must spend lots and lots of money. We must increase regulation. We must have carbon credits. carbon controls. And lo and behold, what is this guy doing? He happens to have involvement in the carbon trading industry. This carbon trading industry, which was invented, of course, by Ken Lay of Enron. This guy has got connections with the Chicago Carbon Exchange, which, of course, is his shareholders include Goldman Sachs and Al Gore. So, you know, the net broadens. There are a lot of very rich people and organizations who are involved in this massive scam. And so Pachauri-gate, as we call it, is this guy being exposed as being compromised, let us say. Then after Pachauri-gate, we get this thing called Glacier-gate. It turns out that the United Nations, the IPCC's fourth assessment report, you know, supposed to be the most accurate, up-to-date, most scientifically reliable report on the state of the planet, climate-wise, tells us that the world's glaciers could be gone by 2035. Now, 2035 is not very far away, is it? So that's kind of quite a scary prospect. Could it be that man's evil work has been melting our glaciers so quickly they're going to be gone by 2035? Well, guess what? No, it isn't true at all. It turns out that this report got its figures wrong. The actual figure it should have quoted was 2350. That's a difference of I don't know, you do the math, but it's over 200 years, isn't it? And how did the IPCC, which is supposed to be the work of what is it, 2,000 expert scientists in their field, 2,500 peer-reviewed scientists, we're told, how come this mistake got slipped into this reliable report? Well, it turns out that the IPCC plays pretty fast and loose with its scientific fact. It got this from a magazine article in New Scientist. Where did New Scientist get this information from about the glaciers melting by 2035? It got this information from a conversation on a mobile phone with an Indian chap who has since admitted that he made a terrible mistake. Now, funny, isn't it, that the IPCC never bothered to check up on this mistake? You know, this is the reliable, they keep using this word robust. The IPCC peer-reviewed process is robust. Well, I'm sorry, but this is anything but robust. This is climate fraud.
Now, James Dillingpole, investigating this for major publications in England and the United States, we know that when they have this mantra of, but it's peer-reviewed, it's peer-reviewed, ignore ClimateGate and that one of the main climate facilities used by the UN at East Anglia, England, ignore the fact that they are trying to hide decline. We have all these other scientists, all peer-reviewed, but when you look at it, they are all using the data collated at that university and 3 or 4 others who are all in the emails lying together. And then we go and look at the temperature measurements with NASA and with New Zealand and with everybody. It's all fraud. It's all lies. And their peer-reviewed journals are somebody on a cell phone. I mean, you know, you could just call into the UN and say, Martians are going to land if we don't put taxes on gasoline. Oh, that's it. Peer-reviewed. Put it in there. Yep.
That's absolutely right. I think whenever you hear somebody use the phrase peer-reviewed, you should reach for your Browning, because peer-reviewed, I'm sorry to say, is a bankrupt notion since ClimateGate, because what the ClimateGate emails from the University of East Anglia showed quite clearly was that the scientists at the heart of this process are shutting out of the peer review process any scientists who disagree with them. So it's not a question of the pursuit of scientific truth. It's not to do with the open sharing of information and the replacement of one hypothesis by another hypothesis, which is the way that traditionally science has advanced through the ages. Otherwise, we'd be still thinking the world was flat.
But in the new science, you're not allowed to question Al Gore. He says it's settled. That's the end of it. But isn't it worse, sir? Because they're not just only allowing a small inner group to produce these fake studies that have been proven to all be absolute fraud. They will never release the data And now, because the data is being forced to be released, we find out when you actually go to Russia or go to China or go to the United States or go to South America that the numbers they use from the temperature measurements are absolute frauds every time you spot check. I mean, this needs to be fully audited. But again, the UN and all the major governments are behind this. So how do you let the crooks audit themselves?
Well, I know. I mean, Alex, have you seen the fantastic report released today by Joseph DeLeo, who's a meteorologist, and Anthony Watts of the famous What's Up With That website? It's fantastic. It says, surface temperature records, policy-driven deception. And what it argues, this very thorough report, is that the surface data records from the last century or so are so corrupt and unreliable that we cannot even be sure that any global warming whatsoever has taken place in the last century or so.
And they've got a lot of tricks, too. They will, all over the world, and this is on record now,